I did the knee.
Oh, yeah, you know what, they told me that that's a little bit more difficult.
It's a little bit
Although
longer.
right now it doesn't feel that way.
No, and the key was the physical therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
After a solid year, and I still do some.
Yeah, that was told, that was the absolute, they say you can't let up on that, you gotta keep on going, and that's, you know, and I understand it. My summer's gonna be spent in the gym. So, but you know what, it's amazing what the doctors can do. It is.
Where did you have it done?
At the BI.
Yeah,
And they were just great.
we have so many great hospitals.
The idea that my mother's down in Florida in the winter. The idea that if you have a problem that you would go to a hospital in Florida as opposed to come back up to Boston and be here. I mean, I'm sure they have wonderful people down there, but we have such an unbelievable cluster of the top here in Boston.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. So, and so far so good, right?
How are you? You still do the show without me?
Uh,
I was thinking, that was the highlight, and what happened? She's talking about the state. And now you're right at the source. You made the big time, don't you? You know you made the big time. What are you going through it? There's no way. I don't know what you're using, but I don't know Friday.
It was focused. I can never get out in front of
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
How are you? Absolutely.
Once again, thank you for being here today for our announcement on economic development. I have some folks who have joined us here today in support of our legislation who I'd like to introduce before I give my brief remarks, then turn it over to Chair Wagner, who will talk in more detail. First of all, we have here from Google, Boston's director and MassCan co-founder Steve Vinter is here. We have Marty Jones from Mass Development. Strategist for Microsoft. Don, director for the Massachusetts Workforce Board Association. The president and CEO of the Greater Boston Chamber of Commerce, Paul Guzzi. Jack Healy, the Massachusetts Manufacturing Extension Partnership Director of Operations. Tom Hopcroft, Massachusetts Technology Council President and CEO. Pat Larkin, Director, Massachusetts Technology Collaborative. Ruthie Lieberman, Crittenden Women's Union. Kathy Mainzer, Workforce Solutions Group. Ann O'Connell, Massachusetts Competitive Partnership President and CEO. The Kelly Powers, the 2013 STEM Teacher of the Year. And Brad McDougall, the Associated Industries of Massachusetts. So as you can see, we've assembled which we are rolling out today. My first thank you will be to Chair Wagner, the head of our Economic Development Committee in the House, who has held meetings and hearings with stakeholders across the state since I appointed him several years ago now. He is focused with laser-like intensity on retaining and creating jobs here in Massachusetts. In addition to that, I'd also like to mention the vice chair of the committee, Ann Margaret Ferrante of Gloucester, who is here. We have Representative Cronin, who I saw here earlier. I see Representative Vega, right here to the left. Representative Collins is here. Representative Broder is here. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I'd also like to mention the chair of the House Committee on Ways and Means, Brian Dempsey, who also worked on this legislation. He's busy on another small piece of legislation called the budget right about now. But Brian has been a huge part of the fiscal stability of the Commonwealth that we presently possess, having contributed to the state receiving the highest bond rating in its history. His budgets, I think, have really positioned us for success. This is a comprehensive, multifaceted bill. It targets the innovation and technology sector, workforce development, regional economic development, and manufacturing. I've been spending time with employers, employees, labor, and job growth experts across the state as we have prepared this legislation. I'm very enthused about the success that companies such as Google and Microsoft are showing in our area. I'm proud of the vibrancy of the neighborhoods like Kendall Square in the Innovation District. They show that Massachusetts is a major player that leads the nation and the world. The challenge is to now broaden the success that we have already seen. These companies and many others have chosen Massachusetts in part because of our talent. Massachusetts has a highly educated workforce and strong talent pipeline. 66% of the working age population have at least some college education, and 45% hold a bachelor's degree or higher, a larger percentage than any other state. In the coming years, experts say that there will be 1 million more American tech jobs than there are computer science graduates to fill them. That's why I'm so excited to express my support for the Massachusetts Computing Attainment Network, called MassCan. We will provide $1.5 million. That's paired with a dollar-for-dollar match to the private. This program, which will develop and implement a plan to establish a computer science education in our public schools. I understand that employers across the board require computer programming skills from their potential employees. MassCan, with the help of the Mass Tech Collaborative, will help prepare even more of our students to form the fabric of a highly trained workforce that will attract employers and enhance growth in Massachusetts. We have with us today the former STEM Teacher of the Year, Kelly Powers. Kelly is an innovator in her own right, who is finding innovative ways to prepare the leaders of tomorrow. With that, I'd like to also, we have some students with us here today. I don't know whereabouts they are. And by far, all the people here, they are the most interesting, by the way. That I had the... I didn't tell them I was going to do this, but if they could introduce themselves and give these folks here a little bit of background in terms of your education and some of your successes in terms of why you are here and maybe why we're so supportive of what I've just described. Well, maybe you're not shy anyways.
I'm Sherry Kelly, and I'm going to charter school tomorrow. It stands for Advanced Math and Science Academy. but we're not just about math and science. We have this really cool thing where we're required to take computer science every year from 6th through 11th grade, and most people take one in 12th grade also anyway. And initially I was opposed to computer science because I didn't really know what it was about. But after being exposed to it through school and through programs targeted towards like high school students that like to expose them to computer science, like basically Google funds, I started to get more and more interested in it, and now I'm going to study computer science with my analysis as well.
I was very introduced to computer science at the end of time. I didn't know what it was about or what I would want to do, but I ended up liking it. And next year when I go to the university, I'm taking my doctorate faculty, but also a minor in computer science. And we're very proud of what I did with that because I really strongly that every student should at least have the opportunity to be exposed to science.
And I was also the first exposed to computer science through school, so I think it's really important to be doing computer science. Actually, through school, we introduced this challenge run by Verizon. We did talk a little bit about it, but we were the best engagement winners. We created a chemistry app, which simulates chemistry for students and combine computer science and science.
So I'm Ryan Cole. I'm also from Westbury Academy. I was actually, I've always kind of been interested in computers. I was first introduced to computer science, I think, by my dad, and I was in elementary school. So he asked if I wanted to try programming, and I said yes, and he tried to teach me a little bit. Didn't really have the attention span now, but I had it once I was in high school, so I tried it again, and then I had a lot of fun with it. This challenge that Eric mentioned, what we had to do is we had to come up with a problem in our community that can be solved with computer science, and then we had to propose a solution to it. And our problem is that chemistry is often very expensive and somewhat dangerous for younger students, and so this is why we propose this.
All right, I'm Michael Gillette. I go to Westbury Academy as well. I'll be graduating this Friday, finally. And so I also worked on the faculty and academic as well. And so through kind of, well, first of all, we found out about it in our computer science at school, so kind of does after we never found out. But I didn't get into computer science until, I guess, middle of freshman year when I was procrastinating studying for mid-year exams. So I kind of got into it then, and I would have been able to work on this app if there hadn't been such a strong computer science program at my school, which really helped kind of push me and give me the knowledge that I needed for this app. And then next year, and as a result of all this, I'll be studying computer science at Berkeley.
I'm Kira Phillips. I also graduated from Computer Science Academy. I'm studying computer science at Lehigh University next year. And really, if I had not to answer, I honestly don't think I would have gone into computer science. When I was younger, I thought I was going to study English or history or something. I had some wonderful teachers such as Mrs. Flowers show me that computer science wasn't just sitting at a desk and coding all day. I took classes in game design, web development. That was really interesting. And just I've been exposed to a huge number of programs through my computer science program in school. Technovation, I've started a middle school program with Studio Video for girls at my school. Got an internship, all sorts of fun opportunities that I would have exposed to. My school didn't have such computer science.
Not just for themselves, but it's actually community. So I'm so proud of them, and I hope that we're trying to insist that they will get their education and come back and work in the next student. So that's our hope. And I thank them for sharing with us today and just really being free to study what computer science is today. It's a lot different than what a lot of us have been really honored. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you. Also want to welcome Representative Farley Bouvier here as well. But this bill builds on our existing efforts from gaming to advanced manufacturing, from life sciences to the technology sector. We've kept our focus on making Massachusetts a top national and international competitor. Some see these sectors as completely different strands. I like to say these are strong threads that we can weave into a tapestry of a healthy, diverse economy to aid the entirety of our state. Big data is the next exciting step in the continuum. It is an industry that includes our strongest sectors, such as healthcare and higher ed, and we have the brain power to take it far. Our bill directs $2 million to a Big Data and Innovation Workforce Fund to promote the big data industry and prepare our workers for success in this exciting sector. The consulting firm McKinsey predicts that big data will create more than 2 million jobs. I want to see that those jobs are going to be right here in Massachusetts. We strengthen our successful intern partnership talent pipeline by directing $2 million to recapitalize the Student Internship and Startup Mentoring Fund. I'm also very excited by the first ever creation of an angel investor tax credit, which will promote angel investment in startups in regions across the state. Beyond Greater Boston, I'm committed to expanding the sphere of economic success in the Commonwealth. We designed a strong regional economic development package that will provide tools for brownfield redevelopment, expanded housing programs, and transformational programs across the state. This legislation creates the Transformative Development Fund, which supports a breadth of real estate development in regions across the Commonwealth and invests an initial $8 million. It also builds on the Boston Fed's Work Cities Challenge. This effort fosters collaboration and innovation in smaller cities to ensure that our prosperity agenda is thriving in these communities. I will have more to say about this on Thursday out west as we highlight our effort to help the economy outside of Route 495. Part of the work includes an emphasis on manufacturing, with headlines in papers such as the Wall Street Journal just yesterday trumpeting a manufacturing comeback. We want to build on some of the positive trends that are already making Massachusetts a leader in advanced manufacturing. We designate $15 million to the Middle Skills Job Training Grant Fund that will provide grants to both vocational schools and community colleges to support advanced manufacturing and IT training. With your help, we have sent a powerful message to the world that Massachusetts is the place to be. Our Commonwealth is in a strong position as we build a strong and thriving economy. With that, I will now turn to the Chairman of Economic Development for the House, Joe Wagner, who will talk a little more in detail about the aspects of this bill. Chairman Wagner.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. They told me that you would be both brief and would not provide a lot of detail. You were certainly brief, but you did provide a lot of detail, and I may not have as much to cover. But the Speaker actually, as is his, you know, as he can as Speaker, designated my time to the students, and so I have very little. I have very little to say. He's a smart Speaker because he knows that they one day will be folks standing here sort of front and center. with him. I won't touch that, but you all know what I'm thinking. So that he will be here. So the speaker, when he sent me over to economic development, now almost 4 years ago, said, I understand, and I said this 2 years ago when we unveiled a bill that the speaker called Economic Development 1, and that effort actually had followed previous efforts, which the speaker made reference, involving life sciences and other important initiatives. And so he said to me, I understand that the perception is going to be, going into this session, that it's all about casinos. I want you to know, and I intend to lead, he said, on this issue, and I want you to partner with me and our colleagues. He said, for me, it's really about job creation and job retention in the Commonwealth, bringing together various partners and constituencies who share in that vision and that goal, and making it happen and getting it done. And so that was really the charge on day one. He has honored that as Speaker. Speaker DeLeo has honored that because he has led. I think the group here assembled is an indication of the broad support for the things that the Speaker has talked about here today. I won't get into the weeds other than to briefly on a couple of them. Mass-Can, which garnered a lot of attention. We know that when many of us standing up here were growing up, it was reading, writing, arithmetic. Okay? Well, now it's computer science, because the jobs in this Commonwealth today, the jobs we want to keep here, the jobs we want to bring here, the jobs we want to create here involve skill sets that we need to teach students at a young age and as early as early school, certainly even before middle school. And so that's the goal. This is a start. And we provide some money that will be matched by private dollars. The private sector, by the way, stepped up and made an offer of a partnership. And we were supportive of the program initially, but that was just sort of icing on the cake. So that's a big one. The big data innovation that the speaker mentioned, technology allows us to gather information in unprecedented levels when compared with any other time. But what do we do with that information? How do we use it in a way that brings together public entities and private entities, or private entities and private entities? How can we use it to make government more efficient, to provide a better delivery of services at a lower cost? How do we use it to take things like healthcare and IT and manufacturing and other things to new levels? So that's the goal here ultimately. The mentoring program and the talent pipeline program, which were in EchoDev 1, are things that have been highly successful with Mass Tech Collaborative, and so much so that the initiative was